Capricorn, Sun, Moon and Rising. What's up, guys? Hope you're doing well. We're going to do a love reading today, taking a look at what is going on with the person you are dealing with. Remember, though, it is a general reading, so it won't be for everyone, unfortunately. Take what resonates and leave the rest. However, if you are interested in personal readings, I have a half-price sale on at the moment until the end of October. The link for that is in the description box below. Also, if you are interested in astrology or learning tarot, I will be launching my second channel on the 16th of October. So let's get into it. Overall energy and focus of the reading is the Four of Cups and the Queen of Cups. So we've got Cancerian energy there with the Queen of Cups, but we've got a distinct level of dissatisfaction in the situation based around emotional fulfillment or what someone is offering on an emotional level and kind of needing to see more from them. We'll have a look what the blocks and challenges are here and if this is something that is going to improve. Could be a lot here that is kind of unspoken or unsaid here. Sometimes there can be an energy where you kind of want just someone to see and understand something without you having to constantly prompt it from them. But there is that feeling of kind of potentially feeling second place, or that your voice is not being heard in this situation with this person. Blocks and challenges here are judgment. They may not be or may have difficulty with opening up on an emotional level. This could come after a period of healing, but then the energy is kind of slowed down, stagnated. So I do think there may have been a break or an argument, something like that, a potential improvement. This has maybe been going on for quite some time, though. And there is potential there with the Judgment card of maybe someone debating, will I ever get what I want and what I need and what I deserve out of this connection? It does seem, though, part of that is to do with maybe their personality type or this person. It's not an excuse or anything for them, but you may be looking at the situation and this person and either feeling that they don't care enough and don't show that, and that are you potentially wasting your time here? Can what you want and need be found here? With the Queen of Cups being the main focus, though, as well, we'll get a little bit more into their energy in a bit. I do think they have feelings for you and they do care. We've got the Magician as well. So this is coming after a reconciliation, or not necessarily a reconciliation, but there could have been like a break or an argument. So there's been a new start, but or some type of progress, but that progress has kind of slowed down. Some of you may be debating if what you need, if it would be better to end it and find what you need elsewhere, because there's kind of that feeling that maybe what I want will never be available in this connection or from this person. Some of you may recognize that as kind of their faults and vices, where maybe you're just dealing with someone who isn't overly romantic or emotionally intelligent, does not offer what they're feeling. Some of you could be in a space, though, where you're starting to doubt how they feel about you and if they are like really emotionally invested in this because of the lack of energy and effort in regards to that on their part. With the Magician as well, there are difficulties with communication and expressing that. The Magician also does have the infinity symbol, so I feel like this is an issue that is being brought up before. There's been some type of correction or improvement, but then the energy has started to slide again. For their intentions, we've got the Four of Wands and the Seven of Cups. So I don't think from their side of the equation they're kind of perceiving that there's anything wrong at the moment. I think they're feeling like with the Four of Wands here, they obviously want this connection and they see it as like their future and what is, I was going to say for their highest good. I don't think they're thinking about it in terms of that. But their energy is kind of complacent in the situation, taking you for granted a little bit. And with the Seven of Cups, I think they're kind of in the dark about this and don't recognize how you're feeling. But part of that issue is to do with communication and with them also not really picking up on any of the energy from your side. But they are kind of locked in to this connection. However, there's not much change coming from them. There could be a small offer or something, though, potentially in that Four of Wands and the Seven of Cups. But it may just be quite small, not enough. I don't think they're really perceiving how big the issue is at the moment. And I think with Judgment and Magician, you're potentially debating cutting your losses and moving on if there is not an improvement in the situation. It does feel like there needs to be another discussion about this, but I don't think you want to do that because you're kind of like, okay, if I don't want to feel like I'm nagging, and if I have to keep bringing it up over and over again, particularly when it seems like we've resolved the issue, but they're not maintaining something, that I don't want to keep doing that. I shouldn't have to do that. But this person definitely does genuinely care for you and have feelings, but they don't really, they do show it a little bit, but not enough. And they don't particularly have a good perspective of your energy and your side of the equation. They're not very good with putting themselves in your shoes. What actions are they going to take, please? We've got the Empress, but in reverse. So there is a small offer of love unexpectedly with the Tower, but it's, something is better than nothing. But there are certain base standards levels that we need to hit. And there's a kind of feeling around, is this kind of enough? You want a little bit more, particularly in around them recognizing what you need, but also in them being more affectionate, more romantic. But this energy here does catch you off guard a bit in a positive way, because I think you're expecting nothing from them at this point, and there is a romantic gesture here, but it's maybe not a grand, over-the-top romantic gesture. Where does that energy then go, please? We've got the Eight of Pentacles, progress, and then putting more energy and effort into it. The King of Wands, which Leo energy is romance. The Eight of Wands, more action and energy. And then the Five of Wands is trying to get your attention. I think they may be starting to pick up on something, but a little bit subtle. So, I think you've been debating leaving this person or calling it a day. Then there is a smaller romantic gesture that comes in or happens. That is nice. That is sweet. Could be something as well that they pick up about your energy, because the Queen of Cups is also intuition, and where you can see a kind of improvement. But there is still maybe a long way to go in the situation. So I think it moves you out of that contemplative place of, is this enough? Will this ever get better? And it does improve, but you still got a few unanswered questions, and you're kind of waiting to see where it progresses to. But I feel the most important thing here is that tower energy, the fact that it comes in unexpectedly, or that they pick up on it unexpectedly from you, or it's a gesture out of the blue that you didn't anticipate. Because I think if you had to bring the issue to the table again, then you may have been saying, like, okay, maybe this is it. Maybe I should once and for all let them go. So I would say potentially for any cross watchers where you feel like you've been not fully taking care of Capricorn, now may be the time to make a romantic gesture. Doesn't have to be for a specific occasion, because sometimes people just wait for like birthdays, Valentine's Day, Christmas, but more because you care about Capricorn and you want to show them how much you feel for them and how you value them. Anyway, guys, that is your reading. I hope you enjoyed it and it resonated. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. Remember, though, it is a general reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest. However, if you would like some specific information and answers to your own individual situations, you can check out the sale on personal readings in the description box below. Cheers.